One of the most commonly asked questions I get asked is what camera do I use and what's the kind of setup that I use. Majority of my videos are filmed on my GoPro 9 Black. Now this is a 3-year-old camera. Just for context, there's a GoPro Hero 12 now. So this camera is 3 years old and I usually use the bike mount. Over the past 3 years, I've been able to pick up some awesome footage while cycling, road riding, gravel riding, and doing some other adventures. And here's some of that footage right here. Anyway, the GoPro Hero 9 has served me very well for the past 3 years, but I do have some complaints about it. One of the big ones is that the low light performance is not that great, and also I've been having a bit of issues with the slow software. That's why when I was told that Case would be stocking the Insta360 Ace Pro, I was super stoked to get my hands on one, and they very nicely lent me a demo model. So today's video is going to be an unboxing of this demo model. I'm going to go through some of the specs, and tonight I'm going to use it at SOP, which is at night time, so that'd be perfect to see its low light performance. I'm not going to give a full review of the camera today, but I will once I've used it after a little bit, but this is more my first impressions and an unboxing. Alright, let's get into it. To the untrained eye, the Ace Pro looks exactly the same as the GoPro. You've got your wide angle camera on the right hand side, your front facing screen on the left, and you've got your play and record button on the very top. They're both almost identical black little rectangles. But if you look a bit closer, you'll notice there's a few key differences. Off the bat, the Ace is very slightly bigger, as well as thicker than the GoPro. But I think the thing that you would notice the most is that the Insta360 Ace Pro has a flip screen. Now that is awesome. A lot of the time when I'm riding the bike, I'm just holding the GoPro out and I don't even know what I'm recording. I'm just holding it at an angle that I know that's worked in the past, and that's done through trial and error. But with this flip screen, I'll be able to line up my shots, angle it perfectly, and also see what I'm videoing when I'm holding the camera low to the ground or, at odd angles. Another thing that's really important to me is the speed of the processor in the GoPro. Now that might sound a bit overrated, but when you're pulling a GoPro out of your pocket and you're trying to capture something in that moment, you just need that camera to turn on really quickly and just start recording immediately. And look at this side-by-side comparison of the cameras turning on. Flicking through the menu screens, changing settings and stuff like that is a breeze on the Insta360. You can see it really easily, and on this nice vibrant screen, it looks really good. So it's these little quality of life differences that make all the difference when you're trying to make these videos. Just going to quickly run through what you'll get in the box besides the camera. You'll get a standard mount which uses a magnet and clips to connect to the bottom of the camera. There's a flexible adhesive mount which I assume you'd put onto like a car or like a flat surface. And there's a Type-C to C USB cable. Now this doesn't come with an SD card, so if you don't have one of those, remember you need to buy one. I for one am super stoked to start using this camera, especially on the bike, seeing what new angles I can get, mounting options and stuff like that. I've been quite limited to just using the bike mount because the GoPro always requires you to unscrew it, but this camera has a magnetic mount, which means I can switch it magnetically from a chest mount to a bike mount to a bite mount in my mouth. So I'm super keen for all those different options. I wasn't going to include this in the original video, but here's some video comparison of the GoPro and the Insta360. Now I know it's not side-by-side shots, but the filming conditions are very similar. It's Sydney Olympic Park, the lighting in the areas is exactly the same, and this is both shot at night time. The things that really stick out to me and that you can see in this footage here is one, the colors are much more vibrant on the Ace Pro, and that's because it's pulling out those colors from the shadow areas. 2, the Ace Pro footage is a lot more crisp. You can see there's quite a bit of blurriness on the GoPro footage, and what that means is the GoPro shutter speed isn't keeping up because of the low light. And I think the third most notable thing is the amount of noise in the image. To compensate for a low light situation, the camera will make the sensor more sensitive to the light, therefore bringing out more of the details, but the compromise to that is that you get noise in the image, and that's very apparent in the GoPro, especially in some of the darker areas. let's give you guys some unboxing ASMR. Thanks for watching guys, just a short video today before I get into the full review later on this week. If you're into action cameras, maybe you use them for other sports like snowboarding or surfing or something, why don't you let me know your thoughts about this camera and also what you use currently. If you'd like to purchase this camera, it's available right now on Keisha's website and we're going to put a link to it in the description. Alright guys, see you in the next one. Bye.